80s. I remember this because Letterman went off the air, and I was like, what's this writer's strike? What do you mean? I was 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, I remember that one.
You remember what the reason was? Cable TV.
Yes.
What are we going to do about cable TV? It's going to ruin television, right? It's going to ruin television. Then what was 2007
ruin our
about?
gig in it.
DVDs, home video.
Right.
It's going to ruin our gig. It's going to ruin our gig. 4 years later, you couldn't sell a DVD if it was made out of gold. So what are we doing now? It's another sea change in the industry, and it's
streaming.
It's got to be sorted out. And you talk about it as an existential crisis because both sides are saying, well, "Hey, we can't pay the bills," and you're like, "The bills are getting paid," and in fact, the C-suites are making tens of millions of dollars in salary. They're not missing a meal.
Right.
But neither are you guys.
Right.
So let's all take a step back and understand that you have valid points.
Right.
And
exactly.
And that AI is a real thing that ain't going away.
Right.
It's not going to uninvent itself.
No. No, exactly.
It's just a new technology that is going to be used in support of the human brain. I hope. In the way that word processing.
That is such a great dissertation on that. Somebody should write that as an op-ed or something. You're exactly right. There is a theme to this, and that theme is every time the new technology comes
paradigm
in,
shift.
we fucking shit our pants when we could. And this is what bothers me about this. The governor of this state could do what politicians used to do, called jawboning. He could get these two parties in a room and say, "Listen, I'm the governor of this state.
Figure it out.
This industry is a little important to this state. We're kind of known for it."
Yeah.
You know, Hollywood, making magic, silver screen, all that.
In the same way, I bet, not to keep bringing it back to the mining class, but I'm sure back in the old days, the strike busters and the Pemberton guards or whatever they were called, and the miners and the crossing the lines and the scabs and the whole thing. I'm sure the governor of Pennsylvania had something to say about it.
Of course, and what he would say is...
Might not have been the smartest, and he might have had one side over the other, but either way.
What they would basically say, and what Newsom should say is, look, we're not going to do this forever, right? Can we agree on that? Let's have that as a starting point. Okay, if we're not going to do it forever, then at some point you guys are going to compromise, because I know neither one of you is going to give up everything. So let's pretend it's 3 months later, and this is really where it's going to end up without all this posturing and
all the kabuki of whatever it is.
Listen to Weezer play to you on the news.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck. And
no one wants to destroy your sweater. That's a Weezer reference. I remember having the similar thing when I was having a contract negotiation for Mad Men, the final contract negotiation. I'm like, okay, now it's time. I've worked under a certain expectation of payment and a certain expectation of what the show is doing. The show has wildly exceeded that. Now it's time to pony up. And everybody understood that. And I said, okay, let's go. I said exactly what you said. I said, we can do this for 2 weeks, where we go back and forth, and you go, guys, there's no money, there's nothing. Look, we'll open the book. We don't have the money. We just don't. And I'll go, then I won't show up to work, and I'll quit, and then you'll, no, you can't. And it's James Brown with the thing, and I can't possibly go on any further. And then the beat comes in, and I throw the cape off, and off we go. Or we can cut to the chase. And I know what I'm worth, and you know what I'm worth. And so let's get there, and then we're done.
And it could always be done that way. That's such an interesting analogy, but you're totally right. Like, they both know the number.
They both know the number.
And yet they can't. It's so sad.
Well, and I think part of it is, I really do think part of it is that the studios are not in the business of giving up anything.
What business is?
What business is?
That's capitalism.
That's exactly what it is.
You try to keep as much as you can.
I'm gonna lie, cheat, and steal to keep my pile bigger than
assuming you're doing the same thing.
Assuming you're doing the same thing.
That is capitalism. Hey, thanks for watching the clip. Hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out on our Club Random content that's posted daily.